Good morning and happy December 1st. Happy Friday. Also, we have some news from Kraken. Well, the whole SEC drama thing. We're going to be talking about that today. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Changes, live recorded. Let's see who's in the chat. Mr. Max Voltage is here. Good to see you, buddy. We have Andrew Masad, Chris Hanley, Mr. Retro Mike Tech. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. He was actually saying something about the KLS. KLS has been a topic lately, I guess. What is it, Carlson coin, this spin-off of Kaspa? That's, I don't know how to feel about it. I think I'm in the same boat as him, though. He said I put the KLS in the Raven Classic bucket, but we'll let people make up their own minds if they want to participate or not. I agree, actually. Retro Mike, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. We have Dom G, Nerd B, Sustainable Crypto, Nick K, good morning. Tim I Am Crypto. We have Mustard Mountain Mining. That was a tongue twister. Good to see you, buddy. Rob Mines, Crypto Frank, my man's a pirate. Good to see you. Leo Lustig. We have Steven Cicero. I don't know if I already said those, but anyways, let's get into the market, see what we're looking like today, and then we'll go from there. All right, Bitcoin. We have 38,430, and that's looking pretty good. I said that's so weird. $38,430. We have Ethereum, 2,091, almost 2,100. Not too bad. Everything's green today. It's kind of crazy. We just had the candle monthly close, right? As you know, November ends, and it was actually a very bullish month, and I wasn't sure how things were going to look today in the market, and I'm actually glad that everything's green. It's kind of neat. I really do wonder if we're going to see a pullback or not this December. Typically we do right before Christmas, but Kaspa's holding up around 13.5 cents. We have XRP at 60 cents, BNB at 228. Let's see, BCH 224. Shiba's even pumping. Look at that. LTC 71 bucks. Not too bad. We have AVAX $22. Dogecoin 8 cents. Matic 78 cents. Not too bad. Let's check out Crypto Bubbles. See what the biggest earner is on the day right here as we are starting a new month. We have Teo, Bit&Soar up to, it says 289. Is that it? Is that $289? Is that what that coin's cost? 11.9. We have Tia, let's see, Celestia, that's up 12.6%. FXS 7.6% up. That's Frax share. I don't even know what that is. IMX, let's see, Immutable X, which is 8.6%. AVAX again, $22.37, 6.4% up. This Wemix, I know, I saw, actually, I think, what was it? Was it Altcoin Daily that put out a video on this thing? I don't know. They paid him to talk about it or something. I don't know what's going on with this coin, but anyways, 4.9%. Let's continue to the fear and greed index, and if you guys have any questions, obviously feel free to just add in the chat as we go. Mr. Rob Mines, appreciate the $5 super chat, buddy. Appreciate you, buddy. We have, for the record, the Daily Grind chat is my favorite chat of all live streams. Don't tell Hark, RPM, DJ, or Hobbyist, or the Mining King, though. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Rob Mines. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to the fear and greed index and see what we're looking like over here. 71, not too bad, to be honest. I really don't get too worried about it until it hits around 75, but I mean, we're teetering right on that mark where things are getting pretty greedy, and typically things tend to pull back pretty harsh when we get close to the 80 mark. So I guess we'll have to see what comes of that. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, Solana, USDC, Lido Staked, Ether, Cardano, and Dogecoin. We have, let's see, Shiba is in 20th, Litecoin's in 19th. We have Bitcoin Cash in 22nd. Let's just see for shits. Kaspa's in 28th. Still, ETC went to 30th, and Monero is still in 26th. This True USD, I still don't know what this is. I still don't know where this came from, because the first couple times I've been hearing about it. The last couple days, first time I've been seeing it. Kind of strange. Anyways, all right, let's check out the mining segment of today. Check out the ASICS over here at minetheasic.com. If you guys are interested, go check it out. No affiliation with them, but this site's pretty cool. Let's see. The Wind Miner K9 looks like $219 a day at 10 cents kilowatt hour. We have, yes, I knew DJ Mines was here. That's why I did the Hadouken. Let me see real quick. All right, thank you, Crypto Frank, for taking care of that. Let's see, we have the Ice River KS3. Oh, I got my tracking number, by the way, for my KS zeros. I'm pretty excited about that. It's supposed to be coming on Monday. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but Mr. DJ, did you get your KS3 yet, or did you get tracking on it yet? Let me know in the chat, because I'm super interested to know. I heard the KS3s are really having a hard time coming out, which is It's kind of shocking. It sucks. You pay so much money for a unit, and then it's like you gotta wait fucking 2 months. You know, it's kind of terrible. But let me know if you guys got the tracking for it. $168 on the KS3. We have the KS2 is making 41.21. The KS1's making 20.61 a day. Let's check out. Let's see what else we got. The X16Q, this is one of the units I'm heating my house with. $5 a day, again at 10 cents kilowatt hour. So I'm definitely losing a little bit more on top of that. We have the Ice River Kaspa KS0 Pro right here. These are the units. I'm waiting for 7 of them to come in, hopefully Monday. $4.17 per day. Let's see. Scroll down. If you guys have any units you want me to look at specifically, let me know. Starting your GoFundMe for a big ass NVMe drive. Mr. Luke, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. You're awesome. We have the X4Q right here, looking like it's making $1.63 a day. Mining Octaspace is still doing pretty well. Octaspace, I gotta go check that coin out. I want to see what that's actually worth right now. The original KS0, I don't even think they sell these anymore, but they're still making $2 a day. I mean, it's not really anything compared to what it was, right? It was $5 a day at one point. Now it's pretty much less than half of that. So, you know, the more time goes on, if Kaspa doesn't rise in price, the profitability obviously goes down. The more hash rate comes on the network. Let's check out Octaspace real quick, just because I want to see if I could type that. That'd be great. Octa, 87 cents. It's still doing pretty well. I actually mined this a little bit with I was solo mining it actually with my X16, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it went pretty well. But I didn't make a video on it. It wasn't really worth it, to be honest. Let's see. Anything else you guys would like to look at in this section? Let's see. My KS Pros are coming on Tuesday. Hell yeah, Mr. Poli. That's awesome. Mr. DJ Mines. But KS2 comes today. KS3 comes 6th of December. Got tracking. Hell yeah. Good for you, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, you know, the faster we get these units, the more money we can make. Because as Max Voltage always says,
this hash rate's going bonkers.
I love trolling him with that. I'm gonna troll him with that for the rest of his life. All right, guys, let's get into the news stuff. We're gonna start talking about this is CNBC Crypto World, right? They actually ended up doing a pretty decent interview with the team over at Kraken, or one of the lead, you know, guys over at Kraken. So we're gonna, right before she gets to talking to him, we're gonna switch to the full interview. It's like 12 minutes long, and you can hear like the sadness, right? He's pissed off, but he doesn't want to say it on camera, and he's trying to compose himself, kind of like Brian Armstrong does. You know how he like publicly talks very well, and he doesn't really let his emotions get to him. I feel like this guy was like ready to strangle this lady, or just in general, he's mad about the whole thing. So I get it. I totally get it. It is what it is. All right, let's get into this. You guys have any questions, add me in the chat. Hit that like button. Appreciate you all. Let's do it.
Today, Binance says it's ending support for its BUSD stablecoin next month.
Oh yeah, that
Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo pushes for lawmakers to grant the department extended powers to go after illicit actors in the crypto space. And Marco Santori, Kraken's chief legal officer, addresses the recent lawsuit the SEC filed against the crypto exchange.
All right, so he's the chief legal officer.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel at the Blockchain Association's 2023 Policy Summit here in Washington, D.C. We'll talk more about this crypto conference in just a bit, but first let's take a look at prices. Cryptocurrencies pretty flat this morning. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin dipped slightly, trading around $37,700. That's according to Coinmetrics. Ether inched higher by about 0.5%, and Binance's BNB token traded flat at around $227. Let's talk about the top stories. Binance says it will end support for its BUSD stablecoin in about 2 weeks. In a blog post yesterday, Binance said users will still be able to redeem their BUSD through at least February of next year. Binance added that BUSD withdrawals would be disabled on December 31st, and any remaining balances will then be automatically converted to FDUSD. This comes about 3 months after the crypto exchange's announcement that it would gradually cease support for its stablecoin after Paxos, the company that issued the coin, was ordered to stop minting it earlier this year.
Do any of you guys hold BUSD? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you do, 2 in the chat if you don't.
Next, bankrupt crypto lender Celsius is opening withdrawals to select users. In a post on X yesterday, the company announced that additional withdrawals for eligible custody users are now available, but said other crypto is still not eligible. In a follow-up post, Celsius urged users to withdraw the eligible assets immediately from its app, as it would only be available for a limited time. According to a court filing this week, those eligible assets can be withdrawn until the end of February. Earlier this month, a separate court filing revealed that Celsius, which was once valued at $3 billion, plans to focus only on Bitcoin mining due to skepticism from U.S. regulators of other planned business lines. Finally, let's talk more about the Blockchain Association's Policy Summit here in D.C. Deputy Secretary of the Treasury Wally Adeyemo delivered a speech here yesterday where he outlined what he called a set of common sense recommendations to expand the department's authorities and broaden its resources to go after illicit actors in the digital asset space, including those outside America's borders. Yesterday, Adeyemo lobbied senior members of Congress with the proposal, noting that terrorist groups like Hamas use virtual methods to move, store, and hide their funding streams. According to the proposal, Congress should grant the Treasury new sanctions tools targeted towards actors in the digital asset ecosystem that allow terrorist groups and other illegal entities to move assets. Another government request is for special jurisdiction over non-U.S. stablecoin issuers like Tether. Yesterday, Adeyemo aimed some of his attention on dollar-backed stablecoins, saying providers outside the U.S. should not have the privilege of using our currency without the responsibility of putting in place procedures to prevent terrorists from abusing their platforms. This morning at this conference, we heard from several lawmakers, including Majority Whip Tom Emmer and Congressman Richie Torres, as well as New York State Department of Financial Services Superintendent Adrian Harris and SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce. All right, turning to the SEC's approach of regulation by enforcement for our main story. Last week, the agency charged the crypto exchange Kraken with allegedly operating as a securities exchange, broker-dealer, and clearing agency without registering with the regulator. Kraken's also accused of commingling customer money with its own and paying operational expenses from customer accounts. I spoke with the crypto exchange's chief legal officer here in DC about the recent SEC enforcement action.
All right, let me switch over to the actual full interview. Again, hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you. Let's do it.
Last week, the SEC filed a complaint against Kraken, alleging that it operates as an unregistered security exchange, broker, and clearinghouse. This is the second time the SEC has filed a complaint against the company this year. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so the SEC...
You know, he just wants to scream. He's just like, Gary, like, I hate you, dude.
...alleges that that Kraken is a exchange, clearinghouse, and broker-dealer for investment contracts. None of those things exist. There's no such thing as a broker-dealer for investment contracts, or an exchange for investment contracts, or a clearinghouse for investment contracts. It's entirely hollow, made up by the agency. And so we disagree, as you can imagine.
So mad.
We plan to fight the complaint. We look forward to telling our side of the story soon. We'll respond to the complaint. But maybe more importantly, we think it's bad for policy for the United States. From a global level,
not wrong there.
Kraken is a global company. We're seeing countries all around the world put together fit-for-purpose regulatory frameworks for digital asset companies, for exchanges like ours, that take into account the unique risks, the unique mitigators, all of the elements that you should be taking into account when you create new law to regulate a new industry. U.S. hasn't done that. Thankfully, there are those in Congress who are working hard at that, and we applaud the effort. We're not sitting here saying, "Don't regulate us. Don't let the laws apply to us." That's not what we're saying at all. We are asking for a regulatory framework that makes sense for the crypto ecosystem, for users, for the people that use Kraken.
Obviously, you can only tell us what you can tell us, but what kind of do those next steps look like? Is there a general trajectory for a case like this, or is it kind of on a case-by-case basis? Regulation and enforcement actions in crypto are...
Mr. Leo Lustig, appreciate you, buddy, for the 5 gifted memberships. Perfect. Appreciate you, buddy.
They really have been top of mind, and I think it's kind of all coming to a point heading into...
I'm not gonna do the stand up and like put it on the table thing like DJ. I already copied him enough.
2024. So how do you expect to see this play out?
Appreciate you, buddy.
Well, we think by and large it already has played out. This played out in the Southern District of New York in...
Well, your fight against the SEC, Kraken's fight against the SEC.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just what I'm saying. We think that by and large this story has already been told in the Ripple case. Judge Torres in the Southern District of New York, a highly influential court in the United States, already ruled that these transactions, these on-exchange transactions, should not be considered securities transactions. We agree with that decision. It was a sound one. At this point, the SEC has had a chance to tell its story in a complaint that it filed in another district in California. Kraken looks forward to being able to tell its side of the story very soon. As these things tend to play out, there'll probably be some time, maybe a few months before we're able to do that. But we look forward to it, and we do intend to fight back.
You seem very cool about it.
By cool, she meant absolutely pissed off. Don't want to talk about this anymore.
What's a top concern regarding the SEC lawsuits? I mean, the SEC's not been doing well this year in lawsuits with crypto companies. It's generally been a very positive year, and markets have not reacted negatively.
See, they had to change to all this, like the slideshow stuff, because yeah, they're probably just like making faces and shit. It's just awkward as hell.
To lawsuits like this, what is your top concern?
Yeah, right now my top concern is for good policy in the industry. What we're seeing today, Congress has called regulation by enforcement. And that's because Congress has taken great strides to put new law on the books, but good policy takes time. And one of the chief complaints of those working in Congress to put new laws on the books is that there's a federal regulator out there who is taking advantage of a lack of law on the books and trying to push through novel legal theories. Kraken disagrees with those theories, and we intend to dispute them vigorously.
So how long does it stay like that? It seems, you know, there's still a lot of uncertainty regarding regulation in crypto, but it also seems like it's come a really long way from 2013. It's nice to see regulators be engaged and have back and forth conversations with companies. So where's this all going in 2024? You know, there are two...
But there's been no back and forth. It's just Gary just decides to put this shit forth and be like, oh, I'm going to fine you guys for, you know, no reason.
Pieces of legislation around stable coins and market structure. But, you know, there is also the regulation by enforcement. It's an election year. There's kind of a lot at play here. So it's been progressing. What exactly do you expect to see happen with regulation next year? Well,
you know, I think you said it. You said that the market has largely shrugged off some of this lack of clarity. I like to see that. I certainly like to see confidence in digital assets, despite what we view as a transient situation here in the United States with regard to law. There is still very little law on the books with regard to digital assets. I really do hope that we can get meaningful congressional action soon. I think that's the best way to prevent another FTX. It's the best way to ensure that good actors are operating onshore here in the United States, where they can work hand in hand with regulators to protect their users.
Are you confident we'll see legislation in 2024?
I think you probably don't want to ask the lawyer what Congress is going to do, right? We always seem to have crazy opinions about it. But I will say that I know that Congress is hard at work on this. We've met with some members today, and we'll do the same thing throughout the week here at this as part of this conference. But I know that those who are working toward clarity, toward laws that are fit for purpose, are dedicated to it. I have great faith in those people. The question is time. Will time be on their side? Will we be able to get clarity from Congress before we get it from the courts? we're in a situation in the United States where, thanks to our separation of powers here, which is a good thing. It's why we have a constitution. Thanks to that separation of powers, we don't have a unitary government that simply goes off and does what it wants. Right? We have a government that is that works by way of checks and balances, and we have courts that are primed now to rule on these issues. We just got our very first ruling on these issues in the Ripple case. And as I said, I think it was well reasoned. I think most of it was level-headed, and we think other courts are going to see it the other courts are going to see it the same way. So really, the question is not will Congress act. The question is will Congress act before the courts moot the issue.
Yeah, Miss Pocket Change said he's this guy needs a little pep in his step. Let's go. He's so quiet spoken. Yeah, he doesn't want to be here. He's not very happy about this whole ordeal with Mr. Gary Gensler. He is the chief financial officer, if I'm not mistaken, of Kraken. Is that what they said? Chief legal officer, sorry.
What do you make of the recent Binance settlement? Biggest exchange in the world, really, you know, I think similar to FTX, just a big brand that to people outside of the crypto world, you know, seems rather symbolic of what goes on in this crypto industry. So, I mean, on the surface, it looks like a negative headline. We saw the market kind of cheer that news. But in terms of how it affects the legislative process, how does a story like that weigh on Washington?
Binance is and was a momentous force in the world of digital assets, I should say. It was a momentous force in the world of digital assets. The question, I think, on a lot of people's minds now is whether that force has ceased. Are they at an end? With a monitor in place, with a court-appointed monitor in place, or a negotiated monitor in place, can they maintain their status as the world's largest? Were they ever the world's largest? Will they be the world's largest? These are all questions in the heads of those who are paying close attention to this, and you named one group of people in particular, regulators, policymakers, those who run government. There's still a question mark there. Certainly, the industry, the ecosystem, regulators, policymakers, I think are ready to move forward from the Binance settlement. That's what settlements do. They set the stage for moving forward into something better. Certainly, Binance users, I think, were relieved to find that there were no allegations that money was missing. There were no allegations of insolvency. There were allegations of violations of financial services laws, which were serious. But thankfully, I think that this is just further evidence of a bright future ahead of crypto and a digital asset ecosystem that's putting behind it a lot of its darker days.
What are the three things you're tracking for 2024 regarding crypto regulation?
I am primarily tracking crypto regulation from a global perspective. So in the US, certainly we're tracking the movement of a bill that made its way out of committee recently called FIT 21. It's a market structure bill that would regulate companies like ours, would regulate Kraken and Coinbase and Gemini and all the rest in the United States. In Europe, we're tracking the development of MiCA, the Markets in Cryptocurrencies Act. It's going to be a bespoke, fit-for-purpose regulatory regime for crypto companies operating in Europe. Europe moved quickly, they moved first, they moved decisively, and we don't see this sort of quibbling over legacy law that's been on the books for over a century in Europe on crypto matters. We have a fit-for-purpose regime that's been created recently. That's number two. Number three, same in the UK. The UK has taken a consultative, collaborative approach with the public and put together a set of proposals that will form what they call a whole of government approach to regulating digital assets. Kraken is licensed in the United Kingdom. We are licensed in Europe. We have licenses in the U.S. too. It's more.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they were licensed in the United Kingdom and Europe.
More of a mishmash in the U.S. because there is no single fit-for-purpose regime, and so.
Well, let's be real. It's because the U.S. is greedy and they want control of everything. That's
what
how it is.
we're tracking now is the convergence, or at least the rising of each of those regimes to a global standard, which we think is going to be good for business, certainly, and also good for our users, good for the ecosystem at large, and most importantly, in an ecosystem that's growing as quickly as ours, good for innovators.
Crazy. Shout out to CNBC television for bringing that to light. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's unfortunate this whole thing's happening, but it is what it is. I guess we'll see what comes of it in the next few days or whatever. Right here we have Altcoin Daily. Mr. Austin, Mark Cuban, actually, if you guys didn't know, so he ended up, I guess he retired from Shark Tank. I mean, he did like 16 seasons or something crazy. So, I mean, that's that. And then on top of that, he ended up selling like a majority of the Dallas Mavericks, which is like a big deal for him, and it's kind of strange. So are we gonna see a shit turnout for like the financial, just everything in general as of 2024? Just is things gonna go down? That's kind of what we're looking at. So I want to see what he has to say in this video. Let's get into it.
Are we worried about Mark Cuban's financial status right now? Why is he selling everything off? Why is he leaving everything we know he's from? He's running.
So actually, he explains here in a minute.
For president?
Mark Cuban is not running for president. So why is he selling everything? What does billionaire Mark Cuban know that we don't?
Okay.
And he probably knows a lot, just saying. Because he made a bunch of money by doing this, selling something early last time. He ended up selling his first company, his first like internet. I guess if you guys don't know, by the way, Mark Cuban was like the first person that like invented like internet streaming, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines.
So not only Mark Cuban quit Shark Tank, which he has been a staple for a long time, retire from Shark Tank, he also sold the majority of the Dallas Mavericks, but will still be the operating partner.
Meaning, does Mark expect a deeper market crash?
Mark Cuban is leaving Shark Tank, and people think it's because he's running for president, but he told us this morning he's not. So what's going on?
By the way, this is creator Austin Hankwitz breaking it down in 60 seconds.
Mark Cuban is now no longer investing on Shark Tank, and he just cashed in on his biggest investment, with the last time this happened being in 1999 when he sold his company broadcast.com for $5.5 billion. Exactly.
There it is. Yeah, broadcast.com. So that was like the first online broadcasting like podcast. I think it was like a sports thing, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he like invented that shit.
11 months before the stock market crashed by 83%. I mean, the guy timed the market pretty well here, selling in 1999, and some people think that that's what he's doing now, timing the market before a big crash coming in 2024.
This guy's probably not wrong.
To the U.S. leading economic indicators, we can see the U.S. economy declined again in October. After a pause in September, the LEI signaled a recession in October, and it's
Crypto KJ, I don't think he's dying. I don't think that's why.
not looking great. And sure, online shopping on Black Friday hit a record $10 billion, but according to Adobe, buy now, pay later financing increased 47% this year, suggesting people aren't spending their money, but instead taking on debt. Coming in at a time where Americans also have a record $1.3 trillion in credit card debt. So you tell me, is Mark Cuban just hanging it up and retiring, or is he cashing in on a major investment before a crash in 2024, just like he did in 1999?
And
man, if you guys can't afford it, don't buy it. Don't open credit cards and shit to buy presents. People don't need presents that bad.
Understanding the timeline of Mark Cuban's cash outs could give us better insight on what Mark expects in 2024. You see, in 1982, Mark started his Micro Solutions company.
Real quick, do you know what's funny, actually? I wonder if Mark Cuban is investing into crypto, because he is actually a big crypto guy, right? Like, he's into NFTs. He understands the value of them for, you know, like the real purpose that they could be meant for, not the monkey picture bullshit, right? The actual real utility behind it. He understands. And I wouldn't be shocked if he's actually heavily invested into crypto, like Ethereum, Bitcoin. I know he was hacked at one point, if I'm not mistaken. I forget how much they took from him, but it was like a drop in a bucket compared to what he's worth. So
It was a tech company, software company, way back in the early 80s. He sold that 8 years later for over $6 million. In 1995, he co-founded Broadcast.com.
That's what it was.
4 years later, at the height of the internet bubble, he sold that for $5.7 billion. That's
Jesus.
how he became a billionaire with the internet bubble.
There
Then
you
in
go.
2000, he bought the Mavs for, in retrospect, very cheap $285 million. They won their title in 2011, and the Mavs sale is the bigger mystery here. Because I totally understand his reasoning for stepping down from Shark Tank. It's time, he said, why he's leaving Shark Tank after 16 seasons. But again, the Mavs is such a bigger part of his identity. There must be a pretty big reason to get him to sell.
Real quick, Carl Coates said he added payment of Doge for the Mavericks game. Did he really? That's pretty awesome, actually.
The totality of the deal. Why? $3.5 billion valuation. So he's going to be pocketing $2 to $3 billion in this deal. And I think for him, keeping a stake, he's going to continue to have a stake in the Mavericks. So he's still a minority owner, I'm told, in the Mavericks. And he's going to have basketball operations control. So final say in all basketball decisions moving forward. The why in this deal was, at the end of the day, Mark Cuban, they needed an infusion of cash. They needed an overhead, someone to come in to partner with Mark Cuban, because there's two things that Mark Cuban has been trying to do for the last 2 years, Pat. That's one, he wants to build a new arena in Dallas. And the other thing is he wants to build a casino district in Dallas, from what I'm told. So partnering with the Adelson family, they're a casino tycoon. Mark Cuban believes with their backing, with their support, with their partnership, they're going to be able to really funnel billions of dollars in the marketplace in Dallas. And this, the sales for $3 billion, but he believes this will be hundreds of millions and billion potentially annually in revenue from casino district, from a new arena, and everything around that city.
So selling his Dallas NBA team to get a cash injection and buy a Dallas casino, that makes sense. But again, timing is everything. He knows when it's time to take profit. And actually fellow billionaires who are friends of his, who have recently spoke well of him.
I love Mark Cuban. He's a kind man. He's a smart man. I've spent some time with him. I've podcasted with him. He throws his hat in the ring, and I will certainly have dinner with him.
Multiple billionaires are also projecting if the Fed doesn't cut soon, that's trouble in 2024.
I think the economy will slow a lot in the first quarter. The Fed will be cutting rates. Who knows exactly when, but in the first quarter, beginning the second quarter. And what's important is when you have a shift, right? When you go from the tightening mindset to the cutting mindset, you don't know, are they going to cut 50? Are they going to cut 25? Are they going to go 100 if things look bad, right? If inflation settles at 2%, real rates are too high. And so the uncertainty around the bullishness of the Fed, right? The dovishness of the Fed, or the bullishness for markets, will create the animal spirits the same way the bearishness did. And so the yield curve will go to positively sloped, right? It's still negative slope. 230s is, I think, minus 20. That'll go to plus 60, plus 80, plus 100. And so some of these trends are just starting, right? The dollar, which had been the dominant currency for a long time, all of a sudden will sell off, and you're seeing that. And so it feels like it could be the beginning of a big trend shift.
Bill Ackman, another fellow billionaire of Mark's.
The markets are assuming that there's going to be a Fed discount cut sometime next year. You have a view on what the Fed's likely to do?
I think they're going to cut rates, and I think they're going to cut rates sooner than people expect. So I think there's a risk of a hard landing if the Fed doesn't start cutting rates, pretty soon. So, I think the market expects sometime middle of next year. I think it's more likely probably as early as Q1.
And we'll
crazy real quick in the chat, Mr. Carl Coates said, "Oh, casinos don't mix with owning the Mavericks." I didn't think about that, and you know what? That's probably a big reason. If he really is looking into getting casinos, I'm sure there's going to be speculators, with the whole sports betting thing, and him owning the Mavericks if he owns a casino as well. That would be that would make total sense, actually. I didn't think of it like that.
Mark Cuban has been very vocal in the past about crypto. In fact, he still owns his tokens, Matic, Injective, and Arbitrum. This is all public. Mark Cuban publishes this to markcubancompanies.com.
What? He has his own website? That's kind of neat, actually. I didn't know that was like that. That's cool.
markcubancompanies.com, and actually in an exclusive interview from a few years ago with Mark Cuban on Altcoin Daily, Mark shares his whole portfolio.
From what I looked on your website, you list all your crypto companies. Injective seems to be the lowest cap one in your portfolio. Is there another low cap altcoin that's just on your radar that you find value in?
Low cap altcoin. I mean, I'm a fan of Klima DAO, right? Which used to be high cap. Now it's about a $30 million market cap. And I'll take a step back to explain why. A couple of years ago, I went and bought some carbon offsets because I wanted to offset my personal and corporate carbon footprint. I own Klima, I own Ape, I own some BLT, Blockdo, because it's wallets for Flow, Injective, Aletha, which is the integrating artificial intelligence to NFTs. So that's probably the other one. And I like Ocean as well.
Guys, this is an ongoing story. I would love to know what you think. Mark has not stated anything publicly yet, but he has a pretty good track record of cashing out within months of the top. I personally think that this is the reason that he has not sold his crypto yet. Again, this is my speculation, is that crypto's fine. He's stated publicly time and time again that he is bullish on the space even today, even post 2021. I personally think that the NBA...
Real quick, Steven Sisler said, not true. The person that bought his part of the Mavericks owns casinos. Yeah, well, you know what's funny? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Mark Cuban's just kind of being like, you can deal with that bullshit. I'm not. Because he's way too smart. He really is.
They're doing fine now, but maybe in 5 years, 3 years, when LeBron officially retires, I mean, he brings in so many eyeballs, as well as they're forced to compete with streaming. Again, it's just a big unknown where TV will be. Mark's just taking profits because of those unknowns. Again, Shark Tank is on traditional TV. That's only going down. And yeah, they're killing it now. But you tell me what you think. Like always, see you tomorrow.
Interesting. Shout out to Mr. Austin over at Altcoin Daily. All right, let's check this out. This is the... Oh, God, I hate Windows 11. Drives me nuts. All right, look at this. So, let's see. What do we got here? This is Mark Cuban's companies. Let's see. What's... Hold on, let's go to blockchain, I guess. I've never been on this site. It's kind of neat, actually. It's kind of neat to look at. Oh, so he's got... All right, so he just kind of lists everything he's got. You click on it, what's it do? Oh, it just tells you about it. All right, so this is just everything he's invested in. Marketplace to collect, trade, unique, single edition digital artworks. This is an NFT shit. I told you he was into NFTs. Weird. Super rare. Have you guys heard of any... Oh, Arbitrum. We've heard of this, right? We've heard of that. Let's see. What else? What else they got? Injective Protocol. Man, so he's got all this stuff in his portfolio. Crypto Slam. What the hell is that? Crypto Slam aims to provide you ultimate transparency for millions of NFT collectibles across multiple blockchains as trusted NFTs. Man, yeah, he's really into NFTs. That's crazy. NFT 42. OpenSea. Yep. DeFi Alliance. Man, he's into a lot of shit, huh? That's crazy. That's crazy. You guys know he was into all this? ETHPass. What the hell's ETHPass? ETHPass API solution creates a secure and efficient way to display and utilize NFTs. Again, just more NFT shit. By tying ownership of an NFT to an Apple or Google Wallet pass. Ooh, that's neat. Did you guys hear about that? Let me open the chat. You guys saying in the chat. You guys hear about that? ETHPass? I don't think I've ever heard of that, to be honest. Weird. What the hell's lazy? Oh, yep. Show off your NFTs. More bullshit picture stuff. I mean, dude, listen, NFTs, they're a friggin', to me personally, I just feel like they're, you know, everybody gets scammed by these prices with NFTs, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is a good technology, and clearly he sees some sort of value in it. It's either he's gonna gain a lot from dumping it on you guys, or I should say dunking it on you guys, or just, I don't know, he just likes NFTs, I guess. This is really a shit ton of NFT stuff here. That's crazy. Man, that's nuts. That's nuts. What do you guys feel about that? Let's see. All right, let's just get to the recap. Oh, I didn't even like put on the right ticker or anything today, man. I'm just losing it. Anyways, all right, let's see. What do you guys got in the chat? Let's talk. Let's see. That's why he's a billionaire, and we worried about electric rates. Yeah, no shit, DJ. No shit. 100%. Cuban is still running the Mavs, so it would be a conflict of interest still. Gotcha. Andrew Masad said you should show that clip of Musk telling everyone to F off. You know what? I actually did see that this morning. Hold on. Let's find it. Let's see if I can find it. It's gonna take me a minute. Man, what? There we go. Oh, you know, it's dude, it's a search term. Let me show you guys. Hold on, where are we at? Look at this. This was already in the suggestion. All right, let's see. What is this? How long is that? It's 8 minutes. Let's watch this one. This one's 3 minutes. We'll watch this. All right.
What was that trip like? And obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
This guy was like, did that just happen? Did he just say that?
But
go f yourself. Is that clear?
Oh my God.
I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
Well, let me ask
If I'm not mistaken, I think Bob is like one of the Disney reps or some shit. I don't even know. He's like a big dude though.
That's how I feel.
This guy is like, he's like F my life right now. Like, what do I even do? What do I say?
Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
Why?
What did he say?
I understand that, but there's a reality too.
Wait, what did he say? I missed it. Hold on.
What do you do?
F-Y.
GFY.
I understand that, but there's a reality too. Right?
Oh my God. That's funny as hell.
Yes. No.
I mean, Linda Yaccarino's right here, and she's got to sell advertising.
Absolutely. So, totally. No. Actually,
he's like, no, not F you. He's like, I was just talking about that guy.
This advertising boycott is going to do it. It's going to kill the company.
And this, if I'm not mistaken, this is advertising on X, right?
And do you think that
and the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
But those advertisers, I imagine, are going to say, we didn't kill the company.
Oh yeah.
They're going to say,
tell it to Earth.
But they're going to say, Elon, that you killed the company because you said these things, and that they were inappropriate things, and that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform, right? That's what they're going to say.
And let's see how Earth responds to that.
So okay, this goes back to.
We'll both make our cases.
Dude, he doesn't give
and we'll see
He's like,
what the outcome is.
What are the economics of that for you? I mean, you have enormous resources, so you can actually keep this company going for a very long time. Would you keep it going for a long time if there was no advertising?
I mean, if the company fails because of an advertiser boycott, it will fail because of an advertiser boycott. And that will be what bankrupted the company, and that's what everybody on Earth will know.
What do you think then of the? This goes back to the idea of trust.
He's such an alien. How he says like everybody on Earth. It's so weird.
And it'll be gone because of an advertiser boycott.
But you recognize that some of those people are going to say that they didn't feel comfortable
Twitter.
On the platform.
Yeah, they're talking about Twitter or X, whatever they call it now.
And I just wonder and ask you and think about that for a second.
Tell it to the judge.
But the judge is going to be.
The judge is the public.
The judge is the public, dude. He's not wrong. That's funny as hell, dude. He doesn't give a shit about nothing, like literally nothing. It's crazy. All right, let's see. What are you guys saying in the chat? Looks like everybody liked that. We need a GFY coin. Somebody said in the chat. Yes, that would be hysterical, Mr. Carl Coat. All right, guys, it is December 1st, and it is Friday. So, as you guys know, I do have to leave you guys with the best song video we've ever heard of. And hopefully you guys have a great and happy Friday. Happy payday. I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a good one, guys. Peace out. If I could find my thing. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Where are we at? There we go. All right, peace out.
I wanna hold on till I can't no more.
Peace, peace. Have a good day, everybody. Happy Friday.